So participants, I welcome you to the fifth session of this 5 days online FDP on AI and ML. For this session, we have a very young speaker with us, Dr. Nikhil Mariwala. He's currently working as Associate Professor and Head of Electronics and Communication Engineering Department at University Institute of Engineering and Technology, Kurukshetra University. I have already shared his brief profile with you. So formally, few things I would like to mention. He has to his credit um, around 5 granted patents and 5-6 patents already filed, and he has received grants up to means more than 1 crore from MSME and AICT, etc. He had delivered many invited talks, particularly in the field of AI and ML. So we are fortunate to have him with us. Dr. Nikhil sir, I welcome you to this AUTL FDP organized by our Department of Production Engineering, VSCCT, Odisha. And on behalf of the faculty and staffs of our department, along with the participants, I welcome you to this session. And sir will be delivering a talk on machine learning using fuzzy system designer. So I once again welcome you, and it is up to you to make the proceeding. So please, sir, you can start your session.
Sir, very good afternoon to you and to all the participants who have joined in. Big thanks to Dr. Trupti Ranjan for inviting me over and allowing me to have an interaction with all the participants. Thank you to VSSU UT College, Odisha, for inviting me and taking pain in organizing the FTP for all the participants. Sir, there is one clarification. I think in the schedule it was mentioned that today's talk is based on cloud IoT. You want me to go ahead with that or the fuzzy part, sir?
Anyway, we can go any one of that. Let us go with IoT, that is LabVIEW based approach to
Yes, sir.
transfer data in real time on a
Right.
cloud. Okay, we can
Right.
go with
Right.
that. No problem, sir.
Right, sir. Right. Well,
You are
right.
you
Well,
will
thank you
so
very
you will
much.
be
Thank you.
having
Thank
two
you.
sessions, so we can go with anyone.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. That is why I just wanted to ask whether you want me to deliver that talk first or this one. No, that's not a problem with me. So today, what we'll be talking about is we'll be talking about IoT uh, LabVIEW based approach towards the transfer of data in real time onto a cloud. So I'll be practically showing you how you can transfer your information onto a cloud, and you can save it, save that particular information, and use it after some time, right? So there are some things that we would work out during this particular talk. In any case, before that, I would like to start with the introduction part. Sir, if you don't mind, I'll keep my video off to ensure that the quality is good, sir. Is it okay, sir?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Definitely. Participants,
Right,
please
right, sir. Right.
keep your video off and also be in mute. You can put
Right.
your queries in the
So,
chat box, and whenever needed, you can unmute yourself.
so I just shared my screen, sir. So just to kindly let me know if you're able to see it.
Yes, yes, it is perfect. Uh, if you can
Great,
make it
great.
presentation mode, okay, okay. Now it is perfectly visible.
Right, sir. Right, sir. So again, I would like to welcome all the participants for this session on IoT and cloud-based transfer scheme. So in this particular session, we will be talking about how to utilize the we'll first understand the IoT part, and then we will try and work out practically how to transfer our data onto the cloud systems, and I'll tell you how easy it is to basically design these structures in different other different languages. So, but what we'll be talking about today is strictly about LabVIEW, right? So I don't know how many of you have heard about this software. If you haven't heard, I will try and make sure that you are, because there is nothing to learn about. This is not a programming language. This is a graphical graphical language basically. So it is not that difficult to understand. So I'll try on my level best to make sure that you follow what I'm trying to say as far as this talk is concerned. So what I'll do is I'll start with this particular slide where we talk about what is the Internet of Things. So I hope everybody has heard about this term and maybe using it in their research purpose, or in their even teaching. Somebody might be teaching this subject, right? So we are referring to an emerging area as far as we people are concerned, and the question is, what is Internet of Things? Now this particular picture over here tries to signify a problem. So if you see, this is a fridge, right? And this particular fridge is displaying this message to this person who's moving out of the house, that don't forget to buy milk. Now, very interesting. A non-living quantity or a non-living thing that is placed in our house comes to know that I'm moving out of this particular room, or I'm moving out of the house, and the fridge understands that milk is not present inside, and because the person, once he comes back, or the persons who are staying inside, they would require this particular thing called as milk. So he needs to buy it out because he's moving out, and once he comes back, he should buy it out. So there are so many questions that can be raised as far as this particular image is concerned and how this thing happens. So this is a beautiful scenario which talks about especially Internet of Things, right? So we'll see how this happens and how this evolves. So there are so many things that we need to answer, right? So the very first question is, how does my fridge do that? I don't know how many fridge in our household do that, but yes, you will soon find them in your places where they will help you out in this kind of a scenario, right? So there are sensors who identify, or which identify that you're leaving the home. There are objects inside the fridge that identify that there is no milk. So that means a complete scanning of the products has to be done. So sense objects for identifying that milk is not there. And then once these two things are combined together, this information is used to make a decision, right, on the basis of those inferences that have come out. And then that particular information is conveyed or communicated, or even the user is informed about the decision that has been taken. Now, what you can do in this case is you can go back, verify the fridge again, and then go ahead, right? But if this information is correct, a lot of time is saved, right? In any case, you are still connected with your place, and once you move out, you are still able to see it. Like you are able to see or monitor these days your cameras that you've installed in the household, right? So in a mobile phone, you are able to see what is happening inside the house or wherever the cameras are installed, right? So again, the second question is, I'm just carrying this out. How does my fridge do it? The point is, you are leaving the home. The user sensing device senses it. What type of sensors do we require for this? How does the sensor distinguish between a parent and a child? What are the it identifies reasons for leaving home. Say maybe you're just moving out to check whether the bell switch is working or not, right? And you just come in. So this message is irrelevant, right? So it needs to identify the reason why you are leaving the house. And there are several other contexts in which these things can be done. So a huge system is required, right? This seems to be a very simple problem, but a huge system is required. The second part is there is no milk in the fridge. This needs to be identified, and then the decision part and the notification part. So we move on to the next aspect, that there is no milk in the fridge. So what type of sensor do we require as far as this particular problem is concerned? Is milk needed? Maybe that we have just stopped for a few days and we are moving out, not returning back to the home, right? Then whether the milk is required at that point of time or not. No milk, little milk, or even half of the milk. So you have to predict this also, right? So there are so many things. The next part is the decision and the notification, right? So we'll see how this happens. So decision, definitely you require a processing machine. So where is the processor? What are the rules that are taken into consideration? Fixed rules versus dynamic rules, that is learning, machine learning as we call it, right? I can write it as machine learning. The machine keeps on learning. It might notify you some wrong decisions in the beginning, but then it learns, and then the things fall in place, right? The last part is informing the user. This is almost easy, but still there are so many questions in this. How to inform it, when to inform them, what is the privacy, right? And then the subtleness or information overflow. All these things have to be taken into consideration, and this all has to be done by this coordinated effort of the machine, that is fridge, plus the connectivity, that is the internet, plus the different sensors, right? So now if you try and understand these particular things, the answer to all these questions lie in this particular term called as IoT, or Internet of Things, right? So just have a look over what we had to do and what dissemination has to be done. So physical object, that is the thing. Controller, that is the brain. Sensors, actuators, and the internet, right? So when you combine all these together, you try and formulate a concept which is called as Internet of Things. Now I hope you've understood things, controllers, brains, right? And then different devices. Now, we have all been seeing them individually, but once you combine them together, this becomes a very interesting solution for different problems to us, right? So how does this happen and how these things are done? Have a look over this diagram. The Internet of Things ecosystem is what we are talking about. Now just have a look what is happening here. The ecosystem talks about, we will be talking about this in detail, right? Now, this is the aspect that we are trying to cover. Now the point is that we have some IoT devices over here. Devices, these are some sensors, devices, processors attached. The data is processed and the information is sent onto the internet network that we are using or the person is using, right? Similarly, the information is conveyed to the remote user, or that same information can be stored on a cloud. Now this data is very, very important because this has been processed by some machine, right? So the intelligence is lying at this particular point. Once the processing is done, the data is then transferred either to the system which receives it or onto a cloud. So we will be talking about one of these aspects of storing the information onto the cloud, right? I'll be telling you how you can do it. So related areas to this particular aspect, how Internet of Things becomes not only one subject but combination or evolution of different other subjects also. So embedded systems, I've already given you the process structure is definitely required. Sensor networks, every system that we are talking about these days is combined to form a network, and then we combine different sensors to make sure that you have a complete wireless network or sensor network which is working perfectly fine with you, right? Similarly, cyber physical systems that have focus on the physical and cyber system interaction, right? So, and the next part is real-time systems. Yes, we are definitely focusing our study onto real-time aspects, right? And similarly, unambiguous or pervasive computing, that is computing anytime, anywhere, right? So in all the conditions, the computing can work. Now you've seen so many gadgets around you which are using these facts, right? They are transferring the information in real time and receiving the information and then processing them, right? So all these things are happening and they are happening very, very, very fast, right? So that means the embedded systems that are being utilized are very advanced in nature. Your mobile phone can be one of those examples, right? But yes, it is not sensing all the things. You have to have different devices or sensors attached to it to make sure that the processing is done and uh, the information is received. Sir, I hope my voice is coming audible because I'm not able to see the screen. I'm just asking in between. There is no network problem happening. Anybody who can just say yes or no. I hope I'm audible enough.
Yes, sir, it is audible.
Yes, sir, it is audible, sir.
Yes, sir, audible.
Okay. Great, great, great. Thank you very much. Thank you, everyone. Thank you. So again, now this is one of the pictures that you have seen many a times in your televisions or around you, right? The Skynet, the Terminator movie, right? So what we are up to in this particular aspect is machine-to-machine communication, or which is referred to as M2M. Also, Internet of Everything, which is being monitored by Cisco systems, and then we have Skynet. Uh, it was a concept, but this is being utilized very effectively by different other agencies right now, right? Where machine intelligence is being worked out and how these things can be real, right? I don't know after seeing that movie how many of you want that this should be real, but yes, many structures, many companies are working on this to make sure that these systems actually work around us, and they are investing huge in this, right? So machine to machine communication, very interestingly, has to be, again, it is monitored by the IoT fundamentals. So what is then Internet of Things and why IoT is being discussed, why it is being highlighted, why it is referred to as emerging area right now? So this particular term was coined by a British entrepreneur, Kevin Ashton, while he was working in MIT Auto ID Labs, right? So this is the lab that you can visit on the website also, MIT Auto ID Labs, and he referred to a global network, or a future global network, I should call it, of objects, different objects which are connected specifically by RFID. Now, I'll ask you about this also, but just remember this term RFID, right? So this is radio frequency identification. Complete automation of the data collection is the basic theory and the basis of this particular concept. And the first article was introduced in 2004, right? And it was referred to as Internet Zero. So this is some of the background of what IoT would be and how this particular concept can be utilized for effective manipulation and effective transfer of the data, right? So just imagine the year 2004. We are talking about a concept which was launched in this century itself, and we are still working on these things now. Sure, but I think you must have heard about this term also. I'm just writing it out. Internet of Everything. This is a new thing, right? Everything. So we started with IoT, Internet of Things, and we are talking about Internet of Everything now, right? So we will talk about this also in any case, but nevertheless, I hope you have understood what IoT means and what Internet of Things is, right? So this particular chart, just to figure this out to all of you, that again, when the devices were started to connect with each other, this chart was basically device, right? So it started in 2014. Means the concept was conceptualized in 4, and actually they started to gather the information when the devices got connected, and then the devices were used. So this is that particular data. So how many devices in billions were connected, right? So we have almost crossed 30 billion at this point, right? So we have cellular IT, non-cellular IoT, PC, laptop, tablet, mobile phones, fixed phones. You can name any of the devices. They are all connected with the internet part, and whenever they are connected, they are a part of Internet of Things, right? So if everything is connected with each other, then we will definitely call that as Internet of Everything. Now, this is not that easy, right? And people are talking about development of a new internet also, but there are many concepts related to this. But we are right now, we want to understand what IoT is and what the vision and growth would talk about. So just have a look that Internet of Things was basically born between these 2 years, right? Because earlier that was just a theoretical concept which was developed by the MIT lab, and then they make sure that this concept was utilized also, so 2008 and 9. So again, not that old, I should tell you. So world population, just have a look, 6.3 billion to uh, approximately I can add 1 billion to this more, and 9 billion I can just specify 2021, right? How many are the connected devices in this case? 500 million at that point has doubled to 50 billion, right? It means they have multiplied to many folds, right? Similarly, connected devices per person. Just have a look over the connected devices per person. Now, this is very important. It was earlier 0.08, and in 2020 it is 6.58. 2021, if you search the data, I'll just make it 21, you'll find it approximately 10 devices. Everybody is using these things, right? So I'll just ask you about all those facts, but just for your information, in the pre-internet era, we were talking about human-to-human interface, that is fixed and mobile telephony, SMS. We were using them, right? Internet of contents, we were talking about www. This revolutionized the way we were using anything, right? So email, information, entertainment, and few other things. So we are moving to smart networks. Just have a look over this one. Then smart networks plus the IT platforms and services, right? So Internet of Services, we are increasing. Internet, pre-internet, Internet of Content, and then Internet of Services, right? So Web 2.0, that is e-productivity, e-commerce, etc. And then Internet of Services to Internet of People. So where everybody got connected with Skype, Facebook, YouTube, we are still using it very extensively, right? And then ultimately we moved on to Internet of Things, and then I can write IOET, Internet of Everything, right? So we'll jump to this. So what has changed in the Internet of Things? Machine to machine. Now this is important. Machine to machine learning, machine to machine communication, identification, tracking, monitoring. Or Industry 4.0. I hope you've heard about this term, Industry 4.0. Working properly. Industry 4.0. Now, this is the fourth industrial revolution that has happened in our age itself. You must have read about the industrial revolutions earlier, right? Now, this basically talks about usage of the IoT and IoET, right? So where smart devices are connected, and then the connected devices are controlled automatically by their inputs, and then the sensors are involved, which are again controlled and connected with different devices, right? So this is what Internet of Things and its growth depicts us, right? So a snapshot of rapid growth of IoT. Yes, we all know it. I hope everybody remembers this particular symbol over here. Almost 16 billion of them will be connected with IoT devices. I've already given you an example of the fridge or the mobile phones or the cars or the uh, Fitbit watches or different other watches that you use, right? So we are increasing, we are multiplying the device by n numbers now. Your mobile phone itself contains so many sensors and devices which are connected with the internet almost every day, every hour, right? Until unless the data gets exhausted or you get exhausted and you switch it off, right? Other than that, it is always connected. So you are continuously sending information and receiving. voice is still coming very audible because there was a message displayed on my screen. Is it okay?
It's okay, sir. You're audible.
Right. Thank you. So now if you see over here, the Internet of Things part is mainly talking about devices, locations, application groups, the service sections, or the service sectors, you can call it, application groups over here, and the different devices, right? So if you see what has been connected, the buildings, the energy, the consumer home, we will be talking about all these things, right? So this is a complete chart of IoT, how different devices can be connected with different fields, and then they become IoT, basically become the part of the IoT. Now I'll just give you a very simple example of this, then I'll ask you a few questions after this. I hope everybody has seen this watch, and most of us, many of us are wearing it also. This is called as a very old analog watch that we normally use. Then we shifted over from this analog to this digital world, where the watch still looked like a watch, and then displayed the time in different other parameters on digital format, right? And now we're talking about bands or watches like this, right? So now again, these are not connected with IoT. These are not connected with IoT, but this is connected. So normally in these kind of watches, you see a heart. Always you see a heart, because it is not that it loves you a lot. It is because anybody who can answer me why you see this symbol. You can see it here, very small symbol over here. In all these watches, you will see it. Anyone who can answer it? Most of you must be using it.
No idea, sir.
No idea. Okay. In any case, all these devices. See, okay, I'll just come back to the room and ask you. You've seen the automatic BP measurement machine. Now you don't have to call the doctor to make sure that he presses or he pumps in right amount of air to make sure that and we are not even able to understand how that mercury moving and when it is stable and how he has calculated our BP is normal or not, right? So you must have seen that automated machines which come these days, and you have to just switch it on. It pumps in the air pressure, and then the air pressure is reversed, and then the output data is displayed onto the screen again with a heart. No, that is not a problem. I've just switched it over. I moved to chat room, right? Just wanted to ask. So have you seen that? Have you seen that machine? I hope you have seen that. Okay, so you're not trying to answer me for that particular aspect.
Sir, your screen
Okay,
is not visible.
Sir, I hope it is visible now.
Not yet, sir.
Not yet.
Yes, it's visible now. It's visible.
Sir, actually, I moved into the chat room to ask, to read about if anybody has to write some answer to this, right? Yes, sir, digital BP machine, yes, visible now. Yes, Dr. Devasmita, thank you very much. Digital BP machine is what I was trying to talk about. Again, there is a heart in that, right? If you see, now what this heart signifies, here watches are fitness trackers, that's why you're talking. Yes, ma'am, definitely. I'm talking about these digital watches and the digital information that is being displayed over here. If you see, these devices are connected permanently with the internet. They are constantly monitoring your blood pressure, your heart rate, and other sensor devices which are attached to it to measure your body activities. They are storing this information somewhere. Again, I repeat, they are storing it somewhere. There is not enough memory to store it in this device. So maybe they store it in the mobile phone to which they are connected with, or eventually they store it in the cloud. Now this is what we want. We want to understand how this information can be displayed or stored onto a cloud system, right? So these kind of devices are constantly monitoring you. They are connected with the IoT, and the information is being stored somewhere. And if some problem happens, again I repeat, if the normal range of your blood pressure goes high, or your heart rate goes high, or whatever complication happens to your body, an SMS or an information of that sort is sent to your doctor or to the nearest uh, clinic or hospital, whatever is near to you, right? To make sure that there is no casualty as far as you people are concerned. So see, now devices connected with the Internet of Things and then measuring the data, also sending the information back to the doctor. Even if medical help at that point is not available, they will notify some of your closest people who know you, right? To make sure that whosoever can reach you at the earliest would be able to save you or would be able to help you out. Similarly, in this scenario, you see over here, we have been, now these are also very latest, but yes, some of the older devices were using these switches. Now, normally, what we are seeing is everybody wants this kind of an activation that, yes, the device is connected with it and you are controlling everything with your mobile phone, right? So you see all the ads these days coming in the form where they show that the fan is being controlled by your mobile phone, or even sensing the people, the light goes on or off, right? Similarly, if you see these specs over here, normal specs that we have been using from ages, and these are referred to as the Google glasses, right? I don't know how many of you have heard about them, but again, these are all devices which are connected with the IoT sensors, and they are helping you out share information and receive the information, right? So this particular concept of IoT, again, I repeat, is what it is: augmenting life with new things, providing new opportunities for people to work in, to develop new things, to make green things much more greener and much more smarter for us, right? So in next coming few years, you will definitely see this kind of a model around you, right? This is nothing but a smart city model where you have smart car, smart me, smart healthcare, smart fitness, smart wellness, and everything is smart. Energy is smart, right? So what we are doing here is we have a smart home, we have a smart waste management structure, smart society, smart care, smart IT communications. The mobility is very smart. Energy generation is smart because it is green also and it is smart, right? I'll tell you how this is being made. So everything is smart these days, except the human being, which is losing its smartness day by day because we are dependent more on machines, and we are making sure that whatever load can be removed from us, the machines should do it. But we are still we still feel that we are very heavily loaded, right? So if you see this particular scenario of the new smart cities, again, you must have heard these words from the government sector also, that this particular city or this particular district would be made smart. I don't know whether one of your cities is under this category or not. Anybody, you can just highlight this. Have you seen some government sector boards which identify that this particular city is going to be made smart in that case, and anything that you have seen happening in that particular direction? We all are from Pan India, so anything you want to share? You can switch on your mic and talk to me also, not an issue. See, again, I'm trying to highlight this because if you see, government is giving huge amount of money for development of these kind of projects. Now, a single company cannot do it. Remember this, right? Anyone who has heard about the smart city project or is living in a particular city which has been declared that after some years it will be made smart, or you're not knowing it, I don't know.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Sir, our city only Sambalpur is being has been declared as smart city in the future.
Okay,
And
great, ma'am.
Yes.
Uh,
Bhubaneswar
yeah,
also
Mr.
has
Ray,
been declared as
Bhubaneswar also. Yes.
Yeah, Bhubaneswar.
Bhubaneswar
Rourkela
has been declared. That's great. That's
declared a
great, sir.
smart city.
So anything new that you have seen happening after the declaration? There is another thing. Okay,
Uh,
Dholera is
yes,
in Gujarat.
yes,
Yes, sir.
infrastructure wise, some development work is going on, like road condition and
Okay, okay,
environmental, how to control the pollution, environmental pollution. Government is giving priorities
okay.
to bicyclers.
Right,
So
right. So some cycle tracks
in
must have
different,
come up
yeah,
So,
yeah,
alongside the
yeah.
road.
Separate cycle tracks you'll find in the main road, Janpat,
Great, great.
and
so
you'll find,
airports have been
yes,
established also in
yes,
some
yes.
places.
Okay,
New
airports
So
have been
airports.
likewise,
established.
things are going on. Things are going
Great.
on. It is not in complete safe. Things are going on.
Definitely,
Thank
sir.
you, sir.
It will take some time. Again, that is what I'm trying to tell you. It will take a lot of time because it is not a project which can be done or completed by a complete one company itself, right? So they normally hire for different projects. So one normal, natural thing that everybody can see around your city, even if it is not declared smart, the one simple thing that you can see, and government is paying huge on this, is the electricity being generated by solar on rooftops or by different other scenarios. If you are living by the seashore, then wind energy, right? And I hope in Bhubaneswar or other areas, the solar structures must have been increased. You must have noted that down.
Yes,
There
sir.
is a
Yes, sir.
huge subsidies being given, right? So this is one of the steps. This is one again one of the steps. Now again, what happens when you install that particular solar system at your rooftop in any government buildings or even in your house? You actually are being connected with a particular grid. Now that particular grid which is supplying you the electricity is receiving the electricity from your home. Right? So it has to be smart enough to make sure that how much electricity at that particular point is required. So again, I repeat, whenever you start using these kind of things, you are actually being a part of developing a smart city, or you yourself are playing a big role in that, right? Similarly, smart education, we are doing it right now, right? Smart
Yes,
education,
yes, sir.
where we are developing new things, where students can, without going to college, can learn things even at any point of time, right? So we are extensively utilizing these facts, but there is no alternative to classroom teaching in any case. But still, yes, smart education, and then smart education in classroom teaching also. Right now, the digital pen that I'm using, or the projectors that I'm using, or the recordings that can be done, even whatever I'm writing can be recorded, and people who are seeing it can just note it down or even get the copies from my side, right? So they are connected to the entire world to make sure that somebody who's sitting in MIT and listening to a professor, the person who is sitting in India can listen to that professor also and compare the things around, right? So smart education, the degrees being issued are very smart in nature, that because they are carrying some codes and they are digitally verified and based on blockchain concept, right? So again, I'll write this word. This is a new term, but yes, blockchain. Government is into investing a huge amount in blockchain these days, right? So the latest thing that you have heard about, or even if you have not heard, I'll just introduce that to you. CBSE board, I hope everybody knows about it, right? So I'll just move back again to the chat room. CBSE board, everybody knows about it, right? Okay, I've received a few more answers. Visakhapatnam, Vijayawada, and Kurnool are three capitals of Andhra Pradesh, and they are declared as smart cities. That's great. That's great. So you'll see, sir, if you travel to those places, I had been I had the pleasure of visiting Vijayawada some time ago, but nevertheless, now these cities, you'll see how drastically they change in next 2 or 3 years, right? So yes, Tejaswini near traffic post pollution display. Yes, yes, this is one of the things. You can see it very extensively being utilized in Delhi, where again still the carbon content is huge there. Now, how IoT is playing a big role in establishing and making sure that everybody is connected and the things are falling in place. the thing that I was trying to talk about was CBSE. I hope everybody has heard this name, CBSE, Central Board of Secondary Education.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Right. So most of our kids are whose kids are studying. They are in mostly in CBSE board, right? Now CBSE introduced a very new, interesting phenomena this time, right? Great, right? So yes, I have also done my graduation of my 10th and 12th from CBSE board. But now I don't know how many of you visited the website of CBSE of lately, but you'll see that they have opened a Digi Locker, right? So what I'll do is I'll just
Yes,
go
sir.
back to the this particular slide,
Yes, we
and
have
then
visited to the DigiLocker.
okay, great. So you have you made your account in that?
Yes, sir.
Right.
Yes, sir.
So they have opened a Digi Locker, and you can open your own account if you have graduated from I should not say graduated, but you have passed from your 10th and 12th from CBSE board. Your DMCs
Yes.
would be displayed there, right? They are placed there. So in this new thing, what they have done is this time the DMCs that they have issued are digitally verified. Right, they are digitally verified and they are based on a concept of blockchain. So CBSE has started using it. Now this is again a concept of machine learning and plus IoT plus the M2M communication, right? So digitally verified means a tick, green tick will be shown, verified, right? And there is a QR code that can be scanned, and the complete information of that particular student comes over, and no signature on the DMC. Now they only say digitally verified, right? So that particular DMC or the mark sheet or the mark list that you see is generated using this concept of blockchain. I don't know how many of you have known this term called as blockchain, but CBSE has started using it, right? So the term is that each student who has passed by will be generated or given a new key, and that particular key is or the hash code that they have got is shared with every other generated code, right? So there can be no say no manipulations done, nothing can be changed in that, and even if somebody tries to do it, it will be very difficult because he or she has to change everything in all the other codes also. So not possible, not at all possible. Almost 1 to 1.5 lakh DMCs issued at this point are all connected with each other, and they are based on this concept of blockchain, digitally verified. So you can also go today to CBSE website, and then you can create your own DigiLocker in that case, right? Again, what we are trying to do is we're talking about smart education system being developed, smart energy, right? Smart buildings. I told you that everything is going digital these days, and everything is connected. Similarly, smart homes, smart healthcare systems coming into picture, right? So you see these smart cities exactly coming here, right? Connected roadways. I'll just talk about this particular example over here where IoT. I'm just giving you some examples which you will see in future coming years, right? So connected roadways. Now this is a self-driving car basically, where you have some different sensors attached. We have a radar sensor, we have an ultrasonic sensor over here, we have a GPS, a global positioning system, LIDAR, which is called as light detection and ranging, right? Video cameras, radar sensors at this front end, and we have a central computer or central processing structure or a simple CPU, right? So central processing unit is there. So whatever these devices sense, they send this information to this box. It is actually connected with the internet or the service provider, and then this car moves in the direction where there is no traffic or where there is no people around, and at a particular point. Now that requires smart roads also. It is not only that the car can be made smart, and I can call that car to run on the roads right now. Definitely, it will either kill people or it will be great. There will be an accident, right? So this is basically an example of a self-driving car. If you see now, GPS system, I hope everybody knows what it will do, right? It will guide the car. The radar sensors that are placed here, they monitor the position of the car at from each axis. And similarly, if the roads are clear, then only the signal is sent to the car that yes, move ahead, or turn left, or turn right, right? Ultrasonic sensors, basically, they measure the position of the objects which are close to the vehicle, and then they compute the speed, right? LDR or LIDARs, basically, yes, you must have heard these terms a lot these days. So LIDAR basically are the sensors which bounces pulses of light, right? So they want to record the edge of the road. So say this is the edge of the road, so it will bounce the light. Otherwise, the light will cross, right? The marking lines or edges of the roads or lanings, right? So all these things are combined together into this particular system. Now this is one intelligent system which is IoT controlled. Now you must have seen an ad of MG Hector. I don't know whether you've seen that or not, but they are calling this an internet car, right? Though it is not a self-driving car, but it is an internet car that they are calling, because there are so many sensors placed inside that particular vehicle. And it's connected with the internet. So entire information is being supported and sent on to some place. Now that can be a server or that can be a cloud. So again, I repeat, this basic problem is still there. We record the things, we process the things. Where to save it? Now this is an example of these connected roadways. Now this was a smart car that I showed you. All these smart cars are running, and these are smart roads, right? The traffic lights are also smart. The RFID, they are generating circles around. The circles cross, and if the innermost circle touches the other circle, then the car stops, right? And if this particular circle touches it, the speed goes down, and similarly the other things, right? So if the circles don't touch each other, then yes, the speed is okay, and then you can move ahead, right? Similarly, this person who is walking also has an RFID structure. So the car has to stop if it is coinciding with any of the RFID scenarios. Now this can be very confusing also, but yes, all the RFIDs are different. Have you seen any common example? I'll just want to know this. Have you seen any common example around you where RFID is being used extensively? Have you seen somewhere? Yes, Tejaswini ji, I'll just answer this. How will you make all these things connected, or smart things connected with the device? I'll just explain that to you after this, right? Sir, we use smart means digitization in India nowadays. Yes, smart India, yes. Chakarpani ji, yes, you're right. Definitely smart India, and we are talking about this. You can write projects onto this. My main aim today is to make sure that you start working on this area and develop new things, right? But still, I'm just asking a very simple question. Anything, the meaning of smart in personality development is like this: specific, measurable, achievable, reasonable, and time bound. Then, okay. Chakarpani ji, yes, you are right. What you are writing, preferred than hard work in education, and no, not as such. But it is not any hard work has no shortcut, right? Please remember this. If you have done something, it will always pay you. If you haven't done anything, then there will be a problem. Yes, definitely there will be a problem, right? Okay, I'll answer these questions. But right now, what I'm asking is a very simple example, a simple thing. Have you seen RFID somewhere around you? Have you seen that somewhere? Anyone who can just say yes or no, or I'll give an example, a very simple example. You see, we've all use that. Yes, Dr. Ray is switched on with mic, but not saying anything.
Yes, sir. I'm just thinking. So barcode scanner is different.
Okay, barcode scanner.
It's
No,
not
not for RFID. No,
yes,
no.
yes. No, I just.
It is actually sensing it is based on light systems, right? So that is an
Yeah,
optical
exactly.
code recognition.
Exactly.
Right. Tejaswini ji, I'm asking that have you seen any example near you which is using RFID, radio frequency identification? Okay. You went to the big bazaar stores in your cities. I hope you have seen that. Big Bazaar, you heard about it? Yes or no?
For product tracking, to track the product.
Yes, yes. That is yes. For example, fast. Fastex is one of the common examples of RFID. Similarly, the Big Bazaar store has some sticker pasted onto their products, and they normally tear it. And if they don't tear it, then the gate that where you are passing around beeps out. So that is again based on some RFID chip structure which they tear off. So that is wearable devices. FASTag is based on that only. If your FASTag is torn by somebody, then the tag breaks down, right? So yes, very simple examples. You've already said toll gates, FASTags, right? And in different malls, you see some stickers, and when the person is billing you the services, he normally tears that small part of that, right? So the circuit is broken and no frequency is generated. I hope you understood what I'm trying to say.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Right. So similarly, these RFID trackers are always installed, and then they generate their own individual frequencies, which are then matched, and then this simple structure is utilized. Right. Similarly, now somebody was asking how to link that. Now this is an example of Industry 4.0. Now this is the connected factory in action. Have a look over this. There are several things that are being done in parallel. Innovation cell is there, efficiency improvement cell is there, risk management cell is there, agility and the structure is there, and then you have a central control structure which is called as industrial ethernet, right? So all these cells are working independently and in real time supplying the information to this ethernet, which is again connected with some server or some cloud, saving the entire functioning of the industry, and how the things can be improved, and what was the output, or what should be the things done right now, right? So these are some of the things that actually existed in the industry earlier also, but they were not connected with each other. So one department was working individually and was continuously working, whether the thing was required or not, right? Now, if this particular innovation cell is working, it is working on the input received from other three. Now, what is the problem happening, and how this problem can be resolved, and how effectively we can improve the functioning. Again, it is searching with the cloud also. Is there any probable solution available? If it is available, then how the same thing can be implemented in the industry, and how things can be improved, right? So in ultimate cases, what we are trying to talk about here is everything connected with the internet, and everything is gathering information in real time and processing information in real time. So again, this is the problem. Again, I repeat. So I'll be showing you developing of this system right now, and then we will be talking about this. So we have a connected factory where new product and services or introductions are faster, increasing production, that is quality and uptime, mitigating the unplanned downtime, and protecting them from cyber threats. Very interesting and very important these days, right? And increasing the worker productivity, right? Or increasing the safety of them. So this is a beautiful example of what it will try and give you all the answers, right? If you see over here, this is a smart building, right? Where energy management is being done automatically. Just have a look. At 5 a.m., the manager arrives for a global call. It is very early for the manager to arrive, right? I'm just taking a different scenario over here. But the manager's mobile phone is connected with the company's input structure. So sensor detects the car and the exterior lights go on, right? Similarly, the security system grants the access to it and lights are on. Lights only where the person has to go. So HVAC system adjusts the airflow and temperature, which has to be maintained inside. The person is working, right? At 10 a.m., there is a meeting in the conference which is scheduled. So again, the information through the mobile phone is sent to that particular single structure, which then controls what? Lights are on only when the people arrive. Again, temperature of the air conditioner is adjusted depending on the number of people who are there, right? And then it can be increased or decreased. 1 p.m. if we see normally sun is at its peak, right? So sun pours in, and hence what is done, uh, because the building has been made south faced. Now this is some architecturally advanced building, falling into the categories of all the Vastu structures, right? South facing, why we prefer them. South facing, 1 p.m. sun pours in, and south facing windows are all open. So the sunlight is taken inside with the help of glasses, and building is illuminated, right? So yes, we are switching off the lights at that point and then still getting the light, right? Following a new schedule, 6 p.m., most of the building is empty. So when most of the building is empty, all the lights are off, except where somebody is working. Overnight, when nobody is in the building, HVAC turns off all the things, and then the security system is done. Now, this entire system is being controlled by Honeywell and their own products, right? So what they have developed is they have developed an energy management system, a lighting system, a safety system, HVAC, right? High voltage adapting, controlling in that case, building automation and smart spaces. Again, everything is connected. If everything is connected, then only you will be able to save something or utilize that very effectively, right? This is another beautiful example of the IoT where smart creatures are being created. Now, if you see, there is a necklace, there is a pedometer, acid meter, tail movements, other sensors, right? So, if you see this necklace is being developed by a company which is in Netherlands, Dutch company, making it a Fitbit style. Now, when I say Fitbit style, again, IoT connected device, right? So, it is measuring what? It is measuring the health of the cow. Pedometer, basically, again, it is developed by an Israeli company. They are very advanced in these scenarios where they are detecting the ostrus period or pedometer for the best period, best time for insemination for the animal, right? Then tail movements, again developed by another company in Ireland, Irish company, which is uh, monitoring the movements triggered by labor of the cow, right, when it is going to deliver. Acid monitor, developed by a British company, which is helping to measure. It is inserted inside the body and then in the rumen of the cow, and then it is measuring the acidity levels. If the cow is having any digestive problem or not. Similarly, other sensors when the cow is ready to give the milk. Best time. If you see again, intelligent device. Now, intelligent cow, it is not intelligent cow, it is devices which are very intelligent. They are monitoring the things and then they are transferring it to some place which is connected with IoT, and then they are being uh, basically these things are being sensed effectively, right? Similarly, NC State University developed this roach. Now, you must have seen discovery programs where this roach, they have developed some animals where which look like that particular bird or roach, etc., and then they're kept inside with them to make sure to monitor their activities. I hope I'm audible enough. Is my
Yes,
voice
sir, you are
coming?
audible. Yes, sir,
Right.
absolutely.
So this is an example of a smart grid. Now have a look over this particular diagram. So this is particularly smart grid, which is actually supplying the electricity, as I told you, right, with different aspects. It is using the solar energy also. It is using the solar cells, the wind energy, the turbine energy, right? Whatever is available, computing what energy is required at what time, and then distributing it accordingly. So there are different processors, there are storage devices, there are sensor devices which are connected with each other. Since this smart grid is developed, then only a smart city comes into picture, because energy requirements in a smart city are huge. You have to have a smart grid in function, right? If you don't have a smart grid, the city is never smart, because energy requirements, they keep on changing, right? So in Diwali time, energy requirements increase to many folds. Similarly, in summer times, the energy requirements increase to many folds. But when winters come, in some places they decrease, and in some places they go very high, because heating elements are required there. A lot of cold, so then energy is required, right? So that has to be sensed, and then the demand and supply has to be monitored equally, right? So these are some of the future integrating structures which you will definitely see around you. Your home is already smart. You're already using them, the smart locks, these TV speakers which switch on and off with your mobile phones. Again, the Bluetooth devices, right? Security cameras, I've told you, you can monitor from anywhere in the world. If the cameras are connected with the IoT structure, anywhere in the world you are still able to monitor them, right? The blinds, the thermostats, you're just seeing them. Lightning effects, different appliances, they go on and off with your single click. You have forgotten to switch on your washing machine, you've reached your office. The only thing that you do is click on a particular app and send an information that at this point of time the machine should be start functioning, right? So it gets on. Irrigation system senses whenever water is required to the plants or not, right? So everything is around us, but how collectively we can use them is the thing. This is a very simple example of automatic hockey goal light. Now you must have seen it in football also, right? So whether the line has crossed, the ball has crossed the line or not, this light signifies that. Now it is connected with IoT. Similarly, smart cocks. Now very interesting thing, right? How this thing is happening. Bottling date, grape type, alcohol percentage, etc. Now this can be placed at any of the liquids. Say a cold drink bottle that you're using. A smart cock is placed. So it will tell you whether it is suitable enough to drink that particular thing or not. Say a juice can is there. So if a smart cock is placed, it will tell you. Even the color changing structures are there. So as soon as the thing goes bad or is not good to drink, the color would change to signify. Right. So again, how this is happening and what these are being done, they have RFID structures which are helping them to connect with the IoT devices, right? So more smart, everything. Yes, everything can be smart. You visit all these things and you will find. We have already talked about a smart refrigerator, smart toilet, smart history, smart health. People are using them. Running shoes, right? Smart beacons, smart shirts, seal or wounds. They do it automatically, right? Smart bathroom cabinets for medicines, smart detect or smart helmets, right? Smart goggles. Everything is smart. So how these things are done and how these are made possible, this was the phenomena which helped it. Moore's law, I hope everybody understands. Systems were huge. They became very small, and they became small in our hands, going in our pockets, right? So miniaturization of the different processors, low power devices, low heat, and that is why these are referred to as IoT devices. Now this is what everybody is knowing it. Nobody knows the standard that is being used or the frequency that is being used, but everybody knows Wi-Fi. Everybody knows the name Bluetooth, right? Or a 4G LTE. So these are connectivity which has been made so easy that even somebody who is not knowing communication systems is able to utilize it. Even a rickshaw puller knows how to enter the password and access the internet, right? And transfer the information. So this particular device has helped us out in making sure that the divergent fields are converging onto a single system. So I'm just moving quickly so that I am able to show you how things are done. This is how you people will be connected. IoT issues and challenges, yes, we'll be talking about them also. But right now, uh, I'll just take this thing, a short break, to ask you if you have understood this thing or not. If you have understood, then I'll straight away move to the platform and tell you how to program and how to transfer any data onto a cloud. Anything you want to ask? Anything? Any inputs? I still hope my voice is coming audible to everybody.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir, it is audible.
Okay, great. Thank you very much. Thank you, Sauji, for making sure, telling me that you've understood the thing. So now this is a new thing for all of you. How many of you know LabVIEW, by the way? Just another last question from my side. How many of you know LabVIEW? Have you used that or not? I don't know. Okay, that's great. Yuvarajuji is saying yes, I know. Any yes? Any more yes? I mean, it's graphical programming interface. Yes, you are definitely right, sir. Tejaswini ji, thank you very much. Little bit. Okay, great. Smart gives reducible size, weight, power, inexpensive durability. Yes, sir. LabVIEW. Yes. No. Yes. Okay. So there are things coming. Okay, Chakrapani ji, I just didn't understand what you wanted to ask, but what I have understood is you are trying to say that smart gives small size and weight or low power devices, and the cost is also reduced, right? You want to say this?
Sir, I have a doubt. Can I
Yes,
ask,
please,
sir?
ma'am. Yeah, please,
Sir,
please,
what is
please
the
go ahead.
basic difference between IoT and AR? Like,
I'll just show you that right now, but still I can answer that. See, IoT means that you are connected, always connected, right? So
yes,
I'll
sir.
give you a very simple example. Say your phone is connected with the internet, right? And
Yes,
all the other apps are running. Your WhatsApp is running, your Facebook is running, LinkedIn is running, but you are not doing anything on that. You are still connected. You're connected every time. You're doing nothing, right? But you are
yes,
connected, and the device in your mobile phone is monitoring your health structure, your heart rate, and is distributing that information to the doctor or to the hospital or storing somewhere and analyzing it. That is artificial intelligence,
yes,
right?
sir.
So once you
Mm.
monitor, once you manipulate things, right, process them and produce a desired output, then artificial intelligence comes into picture. The machine is a dumb thing, right? So when you give it intelligence, then only it will be working. So machine to machine intelligence is what we are referring to in coming few years, right? So what we want is
Yes,
that
sir.
my mobile phone should be intelligent enough to say somebody has asked a very simple thing that is this your WhatsApp number, right? So this is a very simple message, but you need to type it out, right? But if that message is read by a particular software and the software understands, yes, this is your primary number where you are using WhatsApp, then the answer should be yes.
Mm.
So the yes is forwarded, right? Similarly, you have seen so many websites where some bots are available. So you have to type some questions and the bot keeps on answering. If you type another question, the bot answers the same thing again. So that is a problem. The machine is still not learned enough.
That means, sir, the sensor system in the artificial intelligence we are using, it depends on
Yes.
that. No, sir.
Definitely, ma'am. Definitely.
Okay.
Because the input
Yes.
that you give to the machine, then only the output, desired output would be received. If I'm giving a wrong
Okay.
input to the machine, I had to measure temperature, but I'm measuring light intensity, the output
Yes,
will
yes, sir,
always be
exactly.
wrong, and then the machine will not perform accordingly. So that is why
Understood.
we are
Thank
talking
you.
about, yeah, that is why we are talking about the complete amalgamation of IoT devices with AI, right? So if
Okay.
AI is missing, then the machine is not working properly at all, right? It is working just as a machine. Chakrapani ji, but
Thank you so
shall you
much.
explain, please? Yes, yes, ma'am. Yes, thank you, ma'am. Yes, sir, but shall you explain, please, durability of life or aging or in troubleshootings for the smart devices? Chakrapani ji, I'll take this after this or smart systems. I'll take this question once to develop the system on your own, right? Mind that. So I'm quickly going through the development of this system. Most, many of you have said you know LabVIEW. So still, I'll tell you how to download it. You can go to NI, and when I still hope my screen. So ni.com, and you can download this software from right LabVIEW. Here it is. Download it, and it is free for almost 20 days, right? So you can straight away download it, create your own account. Though it is evaluation version only, you can still use it, right? So you can download all this basic LabVIEW you want, right? Once installed it, what you require is just, you see, I'm using a pretty older version right now. I would install the latest one, but this is solving my purpose, so I think, right? Basically the environment, and once it opens, I'll just show you how easy it is to use this particular software.
Sir, can you please repeat the software again?
Sir, I have just shown you the page ni.com, and you go to products LabVIEW, right? You're still able to see it? You're able to see my screen?
It is NA.
No, sir.
You're not able to see my screen. Okay,
No,
okay,
no.
okay.
No, is it
I'll just
NA.com?
present it. I'll just present it again. Just a second, sir. Now is it visible?
Oh, yes, sir.
Now are you able to see ni.com? ni.com, you need to write this ni.com. Right?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Products, and then you click on to LabVIEW. Right? And then you download this. You click on to download and it will be downloaded. So it is an online installation, right? So you have to have an active internet connection while it is downloading the things.
But sir, this is a 1 month, I think.
This is what, ma'am?
This is only valid for 1 month. Means student version.
Yes, ma'am. You are right. You are right. You are right. You are right. This is valid for 1 month only, and that is what I told you, that this is an evaluation version that you can use for 1 month, right? But other than that, if you have to use it again, then you need to purchase it, or you have to find some other methods.
Sir, can you please repeat where from the website we can download?
Sir, I'm showing you. Are you able to see my screen?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So this is the site, sir, ni.com, www.ni.com.
Yes, sir.
But so from here you can download this. From in products, it is there. Is it okay, sir? Shall I move ahead?
Yes, sir.
Great. So once you have downloaded and installed the thing, then you see you have this kind of an icon, and when you click onto this icon, the LabVIEW version would open, and this is how it looks like. So what you need to do is you need to go to File and click onto New VI. So once you click onto new VI, two windows open in front of you, that is front panel and block diagram. These are the two things that we are working with. There is no programming required in this case. We will be utilizing the graphical programming structure. But before this, I make this setup. What I'll do is I'll show you how the information on which cloud the information will be stored, right? So I still hope you're able to see this web page.
Yes, sir.
I'm just opening it for you. So you need to write as think, speak, right? I'll just write it out. Things, speak. Just type it in Google, and you see IoT analytics, think, speak, Internet of Things. Do you see this? You need to say yes or no so that I can move ahead.
Yes, sir.
Right, so ThinkSpeak is the platform. This is the cloud that I'll be using to store my information. So what you people need to do is, I'll just show you how to create your own free account. Now this is directly interlinked with MATLAB also, right? This platform is freely available to everybody, and it is linked with MATLAB, but I will be linking it with LabVIEW today, right? So I'll be transferring the information from LabVIEW onto this cloud, and it will be stored. I'll show you how this will be done. So what you need to do is you need to create your own account. So get started for free, right? And you have to put in your email address, right? And the password of your MathWorks that you're using. And if you're not having the password, then you create your own account, right? So you create an account onto this like you normally do in your web pages, and then you see this kind of a page appearing in front of you where you have my channels, right? What I'll do is I'll just quickly delete one of the channels so that I'm able to. It allows me to create 4 channels basically, right? So I'll just quickly delete one of them. Delete the channel. Okay, if you see, I created this channel in year 2020. This is the date, right? Similarly, this channel was created at 15/3/2021 March, right? And yesterday or day before yesterday I did it. So all that data that I recorded, I can show you that at that point of time, that data will be still here, right? It is showing me, things. Now, what I need to do is, once you have created the account, the next thing you need to do is you need to create a new channel of your own where the data will be placed. So I click onto new channel, right? And what I do is I give it a name. So say I give it my name only. #03, and then what I want is I want LabVIEW data to be published, right? Is it okay? So you can do it parallelly with me. There is no problem at all. If you have created your own account, we can move ahead in this, right? Any problems still here? LabVIEW data, and because I'm testing this device, so I can write LabVIEW data testing, right? Is it okay? There are different fields, as you can see over here, and there is a link to external site. I'm not using any of these things right now. I'm not even using the metadata, or you can use the GIT hub also. Those who are using GIT hub, they can give the information directly of the GIT hub. Now, I hope you know what GIT hub is, right? Even you can publish the data of the YouTube also over this, right? Right now, I'm not doing anything, but what I'm doing is I'm just saving this particular channel by clicking on.
Sir, once again show how, from new channel how to go. New show again. New channel say we have to enter the name and then
Just a second. I'll just go. New channel. You've clicked. You enter any name, just for the name of the
Okay.
channel, right? And
Okay.
any description that you want, and then just save that,
Okay.
right? Simple thing.
Okay.
So that channel will be now displayed, right? Is it okay? Have you made it, ma'am?
Yes. Yes.
Excuse me, sir.
Right. Yes, sir. Please.
Sir, how to, we have created this one. You have created successfully linked your MathWork account to ThinkSpeak.
Yes, sir. If you are not having a MathWorks account, then what you can do is you can create one.
We created the account, sir. We created the account. Then how
Right.
to link with
Right,
LabVIEW?
I'll show you,
to-
sir. Don't worry. I've just started right now. I'll link that. I'll link that.
Okay,
Don't
sir.
worry about
Okay, sir.
it. If you
Okay.
created the channel, then I can move ahead.
Okay, sir. Channel, how to create channel,
one-
sir? Would you please repeat?
Sir, it is very simple. You click on to new channel. I'll just delete this
New
first.
channel. It is my channel is showing. My
Just a
channel,
second,
watch
sir.
channel, and public channels.
No. What you need to do is this will be displayed like this. You able to see this?
Yes, sir. We can see, but how did you get this?
Account, you will get this.
No, we simply
I'll just sign
created the
out.
login ID.
I'll just
We have only created
just
the
a
login ID.
second. See what I'm doing. I hope you are at this page, thinkspeak.com. You are at this page.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Enter your email ID.
Yes, sir. That part is over, I think. We have already created the login ID and all that.
So once you log into this, right now I'm showing you stepwise. Once you log in into this, you'll see this page coming.
It is asking for.
Is it okay, sir? Shall I move ahead? Still waiting for the answer.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir. We got
So,
new channels. We got then name, description, field. It is asking for all this data.
now, once you click on to new channel, you give it some name, right? So I'm using Nikhil Mariwala.
Yes, sir.
My name.
Okay, gave it. Yes, yes.
Okay, LabVIEW testing is what I've given it a name, and then I've just saved the channel, right?
Right,
Save that.
sir.
So you get this. Is it okay now?
It is asking for description. What should we enter in description? Enter a description of the.
Which description, sir? You don't have to enter anything in the description. I just that is what I told you. LabVIEW testing is what I've written. I hope you are seeing this.
Yes, sir.
Anything you can write, sir. Anything you can write. We are testing
Yes, sir.
something, right?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. LabVIEW testing.
And then you save this.
Where to save, sir? Where is the save button? It is asking for so many things.
At
We
the
will not be
bottom,
entering.
it will be saved. Pardon me?
Yes, sir.
Okay, okay. I hope you have got it now, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay, okay, fine enough. We move ahead, sir. So you see, I am the author of this channel. This channel ID is depicted by this, and the function of this is to LabVIEW, use LabVIEW for testing the data. It is private right now. I can make these settings to public also, but right now I'll keep it private only. Here is how the
Right,
data
sir.
will be displayed, right? So you are seeing the screen. Now what you need to do is you need to go to the tab which is called as channel settings.
Channel settings.
Right, or
It is under channel, sir. Channel setting is under channel, or where it is channel setting?
sir, here it is only, here it is, private view, public view, channel settings, sharing, API keys, data import, everything is written here once you go inside the channel, right?
Yes, sir.
Right. So you remain here. Now what we need to do is we need to create from where the data would come, right? So I go back to the LabVIEW part, and I have a module here which will be utilized for connectivity, that is data communication, right? And protocols, where I will be using some protocol to transfer the information, and the protocols would be the HTTP client, because I'm talking about some HTTP server being established. So what I'll do is I'll just pin this. So I have HTTP client where I place open handle, a get, block, and a close handle. So these are three things. Now these are basic things. If anybody is knowing the network theory, would know that I have to open the session and then close the session, and to fetch the things I need a get, right? So if you are not even knowing what these things are all about, there is a very easy thing that you can do. Control H, and it will tell you what this block does. So it opens client handle, uses the client handle to write to wire together multiple HTTP clients, right? So help. So Control H, again, it sends a web request that returns headers and body data from server, etc., and gets the information, right? So I'm using three simple modules: open, close, and get, right? So the next thing that I want to do is I'll just use the label for them so that you are able to see the labels, visible items label, just clicking on that. Also, if you want to see the detail part, what I did was right click, view as icon, I removed that. So you can see the entire thing, right click, expand this, you are able to see what this is doing, right? You are able to see all the things. So now what I'm connecting is a very simple thing. Because this is just looking like a huge structure. So what I'll do is I'll just make them view as icon, view as icon, and view as icon, right? Oh, sorry. So the best part that you can do is easily this part, that is client handle out, is connected with the input client handle, right? Similarly, the client handle out is connected with input client handle over here. Simple thing. And similarly, error out is connected with error in, and error out is connected with error in to this point. So if there are any errors, they will be reported in this sort. Here, I hope there is no problem. Right. Now what I want is I want to use some string types. So what I'll do is I use a concatenate string block over here, which will basically help me to ensure that the data is coming from which cloud, that information is displayed, right? And then I have to use a block called as format to string. I'll tell you why I'm using it. Just let me just place it first, format into string, right? And I'll just expand this further. So now if you see, I have some information which has to be concatenated to the string part and which has to be given to this particular block, which will format that to a string, right? So again, you can right click to make sure that you see which labels are there and what I am using. So concatenate string to format string, and then I need to give some values to this particular block which has to be concatenated, right? So create a constant. I can just move it here and right click onto this block and create another constant. So there are two things that we will have, right? Now these are very important. These will be coming from the block that you have, the channel that we have created, right? And the output of this particular string format will be put in this get here, right? So this is the URL. This URL has to be supplied to this get part, right? So this is the simple thing that we had to do. And again, if you want to see why I have connected with this particular block, you can see this red line is URL. And this URL is connected to the string option that we are giving. Now we will give the URL to concatenate string, and then it will be formatted to string and given to get. Now this is very simple. So how do you get the URL? Again, the channel that you created is holding that. Right? So it is having a public view over here. You can see that, right? Because this is not public, so we are not sharing it. Then you have channel settings, as I showed you. Also, we have the option of sharing this channel, right? If you want, I can share it. So share channel with everyone. I've shared it. I've just clicked it, right? So even if I send it to you, you will be able to see the data, right? And similarly, the most important part to this is API keys. If you see, we have a key over here, right? And we have some API requests. The write channel, read channel fields. Now these are the important things that we will be utilizing and putting in the LabVIEW part so that data is transferred back onto this particular page, right? So which URL to copy? So API request is the one that we will be using, and this particular URL over here, just select this, Control C, that is copy. Even you can right click and save this or copy this, right? And then I move back to this particular point and paste this. Right, now the complete URL, I'll just expand this for you to show you that this URL has been copied over here. Any doubts up till here? So the channel that we created, we copied that URL. Right. Similarly, because one data will come from the ThinkSpeak platform and the second part is from the channel. So I'll copy this particular phenomena and paste it here and delete it from this point, right? So now the ThinkSpeak platform is linked, the updated key is linked, it is given to the string format, and the data, the URL data will be provided to the GetVI, right? So this is what we had to do. Now, where is the information, right? So where is the data coming from? So you have to create a data part, right? So we will do that, and then we will create this thing. Now, if I remove this key, I'll do that, and this is the key. If you see, this is the key. It is same as here till F9, starting from 7 till 9. So if I remove this particular key from here, it will ask me to put the key and then the data will be displayed, right? So what I'm doing is I'm removing this key, giving it a %s so that the system asks me for the data or for the key, and with this 0, I move it as %2f, right? So this is twice of, there is some delay in that particular aspect that I want to use, right? Now what I want is, I want the data to be given or data to be generated by this particular structure, right? So how do I do it? I would use a string indicator, or maybe I can use, oh sorry, I can replace this, I can change to an indicator. So second, this got stuck up. So I'll use a string indicator over here. Right, or even a control would work for me. So if you see, this string has come over in this particular block. Now here is where I will place the key. If I won't place the key, then there will be no structure running, right? So this particular string will be the one which is called as API key for me, and I can rename this as API key, right? I have to give that API key to the block over here. So I link it, and similarly I will generate a random input for my data, right? So it can be direct input also, or I can generate it randomly. So I will show you both the things. So now I can create, right click onto this and create a input over here, right click, create input. So whatever information you give in this input will be displayed onto the screen. Now what I want is, I don't want that because I'm monitoring it in real time. So the data would keep on changing. So it cannot be constant. So for that, what I want is, I would change this to some value, and then I'll run it in a loop, right? So how do I do it? I'll just show you. I'll remove this. To numeric values, and you have a random number generator. So I use this, right? Random number generator. So I'll place the random number generator and use maybe I can manipulate this also. I can multiply this by a certain factor so that the number keeps on coming with a different aspect. So I'll use a multiplier. I'll remove this input over here. I'm not giving it a constant input at any point, right? A multiplier with a random number generator multiplied by a certain value, right? Let me just connect this. This is a random number generator, and right click to create a constant. The constant value is 10, and then connect this, right? So it is generating a random value which is being given to format to string. Now this random value will be generated, and new values will be repeated each time. So if I have to run this loop several times or infinitely, I just use a while loop. Again, I'll show you. I'll right click, structures, while loop, simple while loop, create it onto this. Right click here and create a not an indicator would work, control, or say a constant. So false, right? I use a false statement. If it is true, then it would run, otherwise it will stop, right? So now if you see, the system is ready. Now this system is designed specifically for transfer of information from this point to the cloud, right? So I have to put in the key. So for that particular purpose, I go to this API key and I put it here, right? Now the key is here, and the only thing that I need to do is I need to just run this. And go back to my private channel that I created. So you see this dot, it was not there earlier. This is the first data that has come, right? After some time, because okay, I can do one more thing. This is the second dot now. Right? So you'll see the data coming into picture. I'll just. I hope you're able to see this. Now this is the third dot
Yes, sir.
created
Yes,
at this
you can see
point,
this.
right?
Yes, sir.
So data
Yes,
is
sir.
continuously being generated by this LabVIEW structure that we created. And if I don't give it the API key, the data will not be transferred onto this channel. I can create further more channels and different keys I can change over. From that point, the data will be transferred to that particular channel in that case, right? It is stored here. Again, I repeat, this data will be permanently stored here until and unless I decide to delete it or I decide to use it, right? I can add more widgets to it. There is a gauge. I can add this gauge to it, right? Just create a gauge. So it will show, yes, showing some value. That means it is working, right? So there are so many visualizations that can be used. I can export this recent data also somewhere. I hope you are all able to see this. So we have transferred the information from our LabVIEW to this particular slot. So until and unless I stop this, this will keep on giving me the information. I hope you have followed this. Right?
Yes, sir.
Any doubts in here? So I hope you've understood why I selected the random number. Now it is generating random number, right? So we are able to see some variation. Otherwise, it would have been a constant value. We would have never seen that this kind of a variation would also happen, right? Is it okay?
Yes, sir.
Right, so I'll just move ahead and I'll show you what we have done over here. What we have done is pretty simple. We have used the ThinkSpeak MATLAB platform, which is providing us the access to the cloud, the data aggregation services. This is the cloud over here. Smart connected devices or the lab or the MATLAB also, right? So anything can be utilized to store the information. So I just used my mechanism because I was not having a particular device. I've already explained these steps to you, right? So I have used this LabVIEW part to transfer the information onto this cloud developed by ThinkSpeak, right? So you can use other devices also. You can use MATLAB also, or you can use a real-time input with this, right? So we have done it in real time only. Random number is being generated in real time. So I've told you how to create these channels and you can monitor them, right? You can design your own systems. Even DAC cards can be directly interfaced with LabVIEW. That is why I was preferring them, right? So right now, not having the DAC card to show you, but yes, you can use them. The only thing that you need to do is you need to produce an API key over here. The API key, once you enter at this point, the data will be transferred, right? And this is how it looks like. So I've shown you how practically you can do it, right? So it can be related, it can be linked with Arduino Wi-Fi shields also, it can be linked with ThinkSpeak, it can be linked with data analysis or MATLAB, LabVIEW, whatever you wish to do. Right? Is it okay? So see, it is still working. I haven't stopped it, it is still working. Generating some of the information required. So that's it from my side. I hope I haven't taken much time than was given to me. Any questions that you need to ask, you're most welcome. So I can read Chakrapani ji's question over here. Yes, please. In information on this site is such that. Okay, sir, you have to enable the cookies in that case. That is not a problem. Yes, you can accept the cookies. No problem at all. It won't harm the system. Okay. Please provide us the yes, Mausami ji, I'll definitely do that. Even you will be given the lecture link also. Don't worry about it.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, sir.
Right, Dr. Ray. Thank you very much for acknowledging.
Sir, it's really a very short time to learn all these things.
Yes, sir. I understand. I know that, but
I have done
definitely.
Hathi way. I have done Hathi way, but I'll be trying it.
Oh, great, sir. Great. That will be great, sir. You'll be able to do it, sir. It is not that
Yeah,
difficult because
yeah.
there is no programming that we have done. We've just created a device, an instrument to make sure that things are sent.
Yes.
So this is common to all the things. This is common platform, and this is what you can change. Either you can use a DAC card to this. You can create your own system to generate the code and then use it. Right. So this is the logic. Other than that, this is common. This is common for all. Open handle, close handle, and get the edge. Right?
Yes, sir.
Great. So yes, thank you everybody. Thank you very much. I've been receiving a lot of thanks. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much.
Rajnikant ji, Chakrapani ji, thank you. Rajan, thank you very much. Mosme ji, thanks a lot. The PPTs will be shared. Don't worry.
Yes, sir has already provided the PPTs. I will be sharing with you, all of you.
Great. Right, sir.
Thank you, Dr. Nikhil, for such a wonderful and interesting session. All the participants, they have given a nice feedback. And tomorrow also we'll have sir with us at 11:30 during the second session. So if you have any queries regarding this particular session also, you can join 10 minutes prior to the session and you can ask. And if you allow, can we have a photo
I've just
of
switched
this
it on,
particular
sir.
session, sir?
I've just switched it on for you. Thank you very much. And I thought so that you will be
And
asking me for
participants,
the
those
photograph.
who are there, please switch on your camera so that I can have a snapshot. Okay. Thank you. Thank you, sir, once again, and look forward to see you tomorrow.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much,
so
sir. Thank you very much for having me over, and I hope I was of some use for all the participants, and hope that they will enjoy. Because tomorrow also we will be using the same LabVIEW itself. So I would request if you can download this and install it. Right, it will be very easy for you to work with that.
Sure, sir. Definitely will be doing.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Have a nice day. Thank you very much.
Same to you, sir.
Okay, thank you all. We'll meet tomorrow at 9:30 for the first session. Please do join 10 minutes prior to the session.